Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is now one of my favorite video games of all time. It has officially almost surpassed that of Kingdom Hearts 3, which I didn't think would be possible. I may need more time to think about it, but this game was absolutely incredible and well worth the wait and the money. And so I wanted to go ahead and make a video where I express my love for the game and talk about my journey, the laughs, the tears, and the rage. All of this and more was felt while playing this game. And while I'm definitely sure for anyone who watches this, they most likely went through similar feelings. And of course, since this game is still fresh and how I wouldn't want to take away those amazing reveals from you, I'll be making sure to have every main area of the game in the time code so you can skip to whichever you want to see. But first, I think it's important to see my history with the Final Fantasy VII franchise before a game like Rebirth even came out. Sit back and relax, it's going to be a long one, and I hope you all enjoy it. Compared to a lot of other people, I grew up with not Final Fantasy, but rather the Kingdom Hearts series. And while thanks to it, I was able to learn and see Final Fantasy characters through the world of Kingdom Hearts. While playing, characters like Leon, Aerith, Cloud, and eventually Tifa caught my interest. And while I didn't play them at this time, I learned the ins and outs about the story, specifically that of FF7. So key character moments I knew, and it made replaying Kingdom Hearts that more interesting. And as the years went on, when watching Let's Plays, I grew to see why so many loved not just the characters of FF7, but as well as the world. It was truly captivating. Some highlights are Cloud and Tifa's relationship from small town friends to lovers. And yes, even the forbidden/tragic love between Cloud and Aerith. But I'm more of a Zack and Aerith person, yes I said what I said. Then a remake gets revealed and I'm stoked as hell. I decided to dip into my first Final Fantasy game by playing FF7 Original on the Switch. And it was fun. It definitely shows its age, but it was still very well written. It was funny, sad, and a joy. And it made the anticipation of remake that more unbearable. Remake comes out and I absolutely love it to death. The voice acting, the character writing, the visuals, the claustrophobic nature and feel of Midgar. Oh my god, it's so freaking good. The feeling of certain characters like Aerith and Sephiroth knowing more than they should, having Cloud have visions of the future, Zack being literally alive, jaw freaking drop. It is also intriguing and man, I was thinking of so many things. Then Integrate comes out of nowhere. It makes Yuffie this adorable freaking hilarious character and then gives us a glimpse of the world outside of Midgar. And needless to say, my body was ready. Then thankfully not too long after Rebirth was revealed and man oh man, I was hyped. So much so that I made my own playlist consisting of people's reaction and losing their shit about this game coming out.
More flashback stuff! Yes!
As you can see,
the bucket! It's a big snake! It's Alexander! What is this trailer? It's Vincent! This trailer's freaking crazy!
What everyone said.
Oh, let's go! Let's go! Again?
When the demos came out, I dived into that shit like it was a Sprite Cranberry on Christmas Day. Although the Junon demo, I wasn't able to play right away as I was in Mexico at the time, and while I enjoyed my time there, I knew what I would do the first thing when I came back. And so when it came time to get that faithful mail delivery email, I was so hyped. Although it almost led to a disaster as the mailman put my package at the wrong door. Thanks FedEx. Although I guess it was worth it for the Best Buy exclusive steelbook case of Tifa and Aerith. Oh my god, look at this beauty. I haven't gotten a steelbook since Kingdom Hearts 3's release, so it shows you how excited I was for this. Also, the mini soundtrack and art book are amazing. One more thing before I dive into Rebirth. Zack will have his own segment in this video as his moments are sporadic and hold very important story bits, and so every moment besides the intro will be excluded until the end. It's finally time for the video to really begin. This game instantly puts you through the ringer by giving a slight recap on how Remake ends, and we are then shown to be in Zack's timeline where Midgar is absolutely toast with thousands dead. Yes, we start with freaking Zack Fair showing this game is not to be messed with when it comes to expectations. Zack plays beautifully and shows Shinra why he is a soldier first class, and Geo would be proud. It also seems like the good pooch is put down for the count, so that sucks. We then cut to the moment everyone was waiting for, Cloud Squats.
Yeah, I'm on fire now!
Nah, I'm just kidding. It's the calm flashback. We get to see Cloud's side of the story from 5 years ago. about the good old days of being a soldier. Whether you played Crisis Core or not, this scene is done beautifully and makes the scene keep that mystery. You're confused, or are you? I know my girlfriend was.
Why does he have the claymore?
The what? Who? Cloud? I don't know.
Why does he have the claymore?
It's so interesting. That's what you're asking right now.
Why do you have the claymore? Just fucking tell me.
I'm not saying shit.
Dude, just tell me.
No, you're smart. You got this.
I'm not gonna watch.
Getting to see moments like Cloud longingly looking into Tifa's house while on their water tower, where he made her that promise as kids, to seeing the absolutely top-notch opening credits while still in gameplay scaling up Mountain Evil with that killer soundtrack, sheer goosebumps and tears were all felt. What an amazing opening. The amazing performances from Bit Baron and Cody Christian as they deliver younger takes on their characters respectively. Also, the pure sass coming from small Tifa always cracks me up. Seeing the downfall play out where Sephiroth was just that kind of guy. And then one existential crisis later goes full berserk mode and ends up killing the town, but not just the men, the women and the children too. I think he hates them.
I hate them.
Having Cloud retell the story with Tifa seemingly confused and trying not to say anything. Getting to see the girls have their talk about how Cloud is being weird. Well, more weird than usual. And his story isn't adding up with Tifa's, so Cloud gets to have a one-on-one with her, and man is it awkward and frustrating. It's also interesting to see how the game doesn't show us Tifa's scar, and I know it isn't for censorship reasons as we see it in the intro, so it's quite interesting. Then when it comes to Calm, wow. Just, oh man, this place is straight up a pavilion from Walt Disney's Epcot. Every corner is chocked full of this European nostalgia, even if you haven't been there. Or maybe you've seen films like Beauty and the Beast and you now feel like you were in Belle's hometown. Look at this nerd, man. What I would do to get my hands on that merch. Buildings like the Inn at Calm and the bar, the Rusty Arrow, give off so much more damn personality. This is literally the first town in the game. Everyone has something to say and it's all so interesting. You're then pushed outside of Calm due to Shinra not liking your clock tower date with Aerith. And so you finally get to begin your journey in the Grasslands, completely skipping the beginning dead open zone from Midgar to Calm, being completely dead and barren, but having an amazing open field song. The visuals of the Grasslands are a complete sight to behold after exploring and battling out in Midgar and Remake, and it's home to some great side characters as well. Whether it's Bill's Ranch, which is home to Bill and his nephews, then there's Oliver's Farm, that while not major, gives some interesting world building. We get to see Kirei up to her old shenanigans, and she's a hilarious joy to be with as always. While exploring, you'll also come into contact with these big-headed, adorable Funko Pop baby chickens. They give you stops to rest at, and these little guys, in my opinion, are the FF7 equivalent of the shopping cart test. If you ever meet one of these little guys and you don't pat their head or give them love, count your days. You know who you are. I already mentioned it, but the music, oh my god, the music is so intoxicating and helps give each part of the Grasslands its own feel. One of the things I figured out early on is how you're able to accidentally stumble upon an item that you will be able to use later on in your adventure when it comes time to do it. Stuff like that makes this game just hit all the exploring jitters in the right spot, you know? So for example, thanks to the returning Chadley, by completing the World Intel quest, you unlock rewards, and some of those rewards are used for other quests, and the way you are able to acquire them early without knowing is how to do it when it comes to an open world game. Grasslands come to an end with the battle against the Midgar Swarmer, which is very intimidating. Could you imagine if Nomura got his way and made that snake 10 times bigger? Jeez. With the snake defeated, Cloud gets chosen to be his next meal until Sephiroth intervenes and puts the cherry on top to this boss fight. And thus, we enter the Mithril Mines, ending Chapter 2. Going into the Mithril Mines, we are treated with the usual dank, dark, and dusty looking mines, but with an amazing, otherworldly feel when it comes to the large-scale Mithril shard. It's gorgeous to say the least. Having the fun Barret and Red bonding moment was a nice chance to experiment with characters you might have not put together when exploring previously. In the section when you climb that tall rock structure shows why yellow paint is needed in games, as many people were apparently lost and stuck in this segment. The fight between Elena and Rude is fun, and if you juggle Elena in the air, she starts screaming like a banshee.
Go in for broke. Gotcha.
geez, really going through it. And so we arrive at Junon, the sun-setting beached pirate ship, cliffside chocobo riding paradise. When playing the demo, you think you have experienced everything this area has to offer, but no. In the full game, there's so much more given to the player, like the surprise Fort Condor minigame. And yes, I know it isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I think it was a smart choice to add the actual characters into the minigame. It helps give it more life, you know? Heading down to Under Junon, man was I blown away at first glance. It's this little small fishing town, but you get this amazing cliffside town that has a cozy feeling even though it's underneath the second most powerful city in the world. The frog minigame is a welcome goofy surprise, giving me one of my favorite interactions between Cloud and Tifa. After you save Yuffie, the gang get a chance to relax at the local inn, and we get more amazing character interactions between Cloud and everyone else. These moments are such a nice change of pace and helps everyone feel like normal characters. They're talking about things that have happened and we care about it. The scene with Cloud and Tifa alone, having Cloud state that he only remembers Tifa from the village, ooh, I ate that shit up. Upper Junon is a sight to behold. Every aspect of every corner is chock full of character, the writing, the visuals, it's all done perfectly to give this impressive feeling for Upper Junon. Seeing Tifa and Aerith in Shinra Grunt gear was an amazing addition, and well, they look quite good in them. Collecting all of the Midgar 7th Infantry was fun, and each group had a unique thing they were doing at that moment. The Bald Bar, need I say more. And well, we get a new addition to the story in which Rufus is willing to let the gang go, but Yuffie says fuck that shit. And after her failed assassination attempt, Rufus said no takebacks, and the gang head to the next boat ride, heading to the next continent. With Shinra 8 now boarded, the gang are treated with the luxuries that come with a cruise ship. For some, that could be a nice pool party, bingo night with your local grandma, or perhaps drinking your problems away after a shit day at work.
I'm busy being sad.
But for our characters, they are treated to a Yu-Gi-Oh style tournament, only this time the contestants don't smell like ass. Feels like now is the perfect time to talk about one of my favorite aspects of Rebirth, that being the very popular Chad favorite Fortnite sweat hating card game, Queen's Blood. This game to me is so well made and addicting as well. The rules are simple, whichever player reaches to have the highest point count at the end of the game wins. Originally I thought the winner would be determined by whoever owned the most lanes, but I quickly learned the path to victory was instead by humiliating your opponents by never ending your turn, even when you've won, and instead add salt to the wound and use every card just because you can do so. A deck that can break the competition and is a deck every player should build is a Destroy deck and an Enfeeblement deck. Some top players are King Tomberry and Dio for each respective deck. Later in the game, you'll have access to Queen's Blood challenges where you can unlock cards and rewards as well. Some of the better cards are unlocked this way, so while they are more challenging, the rewards are very much worth it. Now get out there.
It's time to do.
With the cards put away, we continue this Scooby-Doo adventure with an invasion from the sea, where some creatures come to suck up that oh-so-sweet reunion juice. With most of the crew slaughtered, and after traveling deeper into the dark ship, we get good old Sephiroth being a creep as usual. He gives Cloud more baggage to carry with some haunting words before he departs.
They say she's a monster, that she can peer inside you, into the very depths of your soul. That she can become those you hate, those you fear, those you love.
And so we get some alien hallucinations with our first fight with Jenova. Can I just say, what a great fight, and man, that music. You're gonna be hearing that a lot. With Jenova defeated and Barrett carrying once again, Cloud is left feeling uneasy with what Sephiroth says, and he leaves his comrades worried.
Cloud, don't let her fool you.
Cloud?
I'm no fool.
But enough about that, it's Costa del Sol time! And I think it's safe to say that this part of the game completely delivered and then some. Square added new life into every town in Rebirth, and Costa del Sol shines so much due to it. Final Fantasy VII essentially now has the beach episode, which is every anime's most famous or most infamous part of a series. And well, I definitely think this part of the game could be someone's favorite part of the entire adventure, and I wouldn't blame them. It has so much personality. But let's talk about the big reasons why people will most likely love Costa del Sol. The introduction of alternate outfits. This for me is such a big deal as outfits help bring personal preference when replaying a game. So for instance, I know you've all been seeing the gang in their swimsuits throughout the game, and that's due to me wanting to give them a One Piece adventure. This isn't possible right from the start, however, and you'll have to complete the game first to unlock using outfits, early on and outside the Costa del Sol area. We also get to meet Johnny again, and he's a joy like always. But he decided to have the American dream, and so he is now in massive debt. Johnny lets the gang stay at his smells more than view Seaside Inn. And it's here we get more lore. Turns out that every time the Whispers were around Aerith and Red in Remake, they were slowly removing their memory of the feature, and in doing so completely sucked the white out of Aerith's holy materia, given to her by her mother. If you're confused on this, basically we are constantly told that materia are made up of people's memories, and that is what gives you the ability to use it.
Materia is formed from the life stream itself. Orbs infused with knowledge, memories.
The Whispers. They took all that from mine?
These memories were precious?
Yes. Extremely.
And so, if you know what the white materia is for this, it has huge complications. With the swimsuits acquired and Cloud trying his best to stay focused.
Gotta know exactly who you are. Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
The gang meet Mr. Diabolical, who for some reason has an obsession with impregnating women.
A promising specimen. Splendid! Might you be interested in bringing a new hero to life?
Hey yo, what the fuck?
With Hojo being up to his old shtick, we get a nice reference to Crisis Core with Cloud using an umbrella, and we see each member get taken away from us, including us. But have no fear, for everyone's favorite ninja, Yuffie, and with the help of Johnny, are able to take down Hojo's latest sus robot, and we get to all have a nice sunset time with one another, and reflect on our journey so far and how much of a dick Hojo is. The gang rendezvous with Johnny, learning he's a free man and the hero of today. And we now get access to one of the coolest things. Johnny's Seaside Inn acts as the main area to hold all of your trophies, plushies, items, and collectibles that you acquire through this game. This is such a great thing and acts as an incentive for going through all the hardships just so you can look at your gigantic save point that costs you more than Johnny's rent. Another great addition is being able to view all of your weapons from Remake for each character. Although, it bothers me that I don't have Yuffie's DLC Cactuar weapon. Maybe one day. Suddenly Yuffie appears with the energy of a car tank full of gas, demanding to let her in, and with some persuasion, Yuffie joins with a blissful smile, and totally not because she's in love with Tifa's hands and Cloud's shoulders. In terms of combat, Yuffie's just as fun and agile as she was back in Intermission, so she doesn't disappoint. With a new member acquired, we begin the journey to Corel. The climb up is met with hilarious dialogue and more chemistry for our characters. We get split for a bit due to Aerith needing a quick breather and Yuffie trying to go 2 seconds without thinking about materia. It's at this point that the chemistry between Yuffie and Barrett gets hilarious. She's such a little brat and he gives no shits about it. The scenery on the climb is gorgeous as always, and the boss fight accompanying it is a nice reference to Remake and that glorious music accompanying it. But of course, before the fight, Elena has to remind us that she does not want to get her ass kicked and that her job sucks. The fight is a blast, and afterwards we see Aerith staring into the sky. And that's it. Remember, everything Zack related is going to be at the end for the final chapter. We do, however, get a PowerPoint presentation from Rufus, and of course, Dr. Ooze is foaming at the mouth when seeing a weapon. The gang soon regroups, and we get to see the fallen Corel reactor with the forbidden Mountain Dew Mako juice. And we get to see our first weapon with these adorable small whale types. Like Red says, these guys are essentially protectors of the planet and only show up when the planet is in danger. While these guys are not the main fighting weapons that we know of, these are more of the reconnaissance kind of types. Somehow Yuffie is delusional enough to think she could get the materia attached to the weapon, and the party act accordingly. They continue down the path to witness some roped men taking the scenic route. With Cloud feeling the need to take a bath as well, he gets a tummy ache, and so Yuffie, Tifa, and Barret travel up the mountain to help them progress. The size comparison here is very well done and is a sight to behold. We then get the best original character for this game, that being Cloud Jr., who originally was just a JPEG from the original game. Shit like this is exactly why I adore the writing of this game. It makes small characters like this have such a huge impact, and all that character is doing is existing. Characters like Cloud Jr. are there to show you this is what is at stake if you fail. Cloud Jr., this adorable little bird, along with everything you have seen, fought for, and adored on your journey, will die if Shinra and Sephiroth achieve their goals. Bill's farm along with their chocobo, Under Junon with Priscilla and Mr. Dolphin, Costa del Sol, everything and everyone they love will be gone. And I love it. Rebirth truly makes you appreciate the world that you are in. But I digress. We eventually get to Corel, and Barret gets a depressing homecoming with everyone hating his guts. We learned that in the past, he too believed Shinra would help his town, but in actuality, they became a statistic that Shinra would soon wipe under the rug. And ever since this betrayal, he's wanted to make amends by taking Shinra down due to feeling responsible for the disaster that hit his home. We also get to see the doctor who helped Tifa back to health after the Nibelheim incident, and this dude will be very important in part 3, with Barret sharing his story to the group and him letting them know not to worry. The gang head upwards to the Gold Saucer, where little did they know this would be one of the few last times they would be able to be happy with one another. We finally made it to the end of part 1 of my Final Fantasy VII Rebirth review. Whew. I am so sorry this took so long to come out. I have been trying my absolute best to get this out. You know, this is a big game, and I was enjoying it. Like, I'm at right now like 230 something hours, second playthrough obviously, but I want to make sure I get everything right because I really adore this game, and I wanted to put more love and thought into this review. Maybe it's something I'd like to do more often, I'm not too sure. I did do a review for something like Spider-Man 2, which I can plug right now, but that was more of like a quick, you know, look at and just talk about it, which I do love that game, but FF7 Rebirth is such a beautifully well-crafted game, and I have so many things I want to talk about. I love sharing what I feel about stuff, and I love to hear everyone's passion about it, whether good or bad, because I do know, as we'll get to in part 2 of this review, whenever that comes out, there's a lot of things that people don't like about this game. It's especially about the ending, which we'll get to that. And that's okay. I think it's really interesting to get both sides of, you know, the coin, to see exactly what everyone's thinking of. And please, if anyone watches this, and I hope you get through this entirety, please let me know what you thought as well. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I know a majority of people love this game until the ending. I loved it 100%. Again, like I said at the beginning, I don't know if it's my favorite game of all time yet, because it is very still soon. It's only been like a month or two since release, but I never really thought a game would get so close to my love for Kingdom Hearts 3, because I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan, so this game might do it. And yeah, all I can say is I hope you all enjoyed. Please wait patiently for part 2, and once part 2 is up, after some time, I'll honestly just re-release these again as one continuous video. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being patient with me, to all 400 something of you, even if it goes down, which could be inevitable, we don't know. It truly means a lot. Like, when you think about it, there's 400 people, as far as I know, that there can't be bots that subscribe, right? I don't think that's possible. I'm still new to this, so who knows? 400 people, man, like, at the very least are interested enough to hit that button. Anyways, hit the button and, you know, be interested in what I have to say, and that means a lot. I still have a lot of things I want to do. I love this kind of style of video, talking, reviewing. This one is a lot though, because this is the first time I'm honestly really recording a bunch, and it's a lot of work, but I also do have some things that I want to do later on, which hopefully I'll get the chance to once I upgrade my setup. But regardless, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a good day and take care.